Честно говоря, я не помню нихуя того, что мы делали в прошлый раз. Но мы продолжим все усилия. Так, еще день. О, да какой-то чувак нарисован. Ким. Нам, по-моему, нужно было... Ну, тоже неверно было. Я же назвал серию, что надо типа съесть. Что? Ну что-то... Так, нам нужно шмотки поискать, но это в идеале как-то зеркало. Сложно, легендарно, невозможно. Мусорный бак. Надо по бабла найти. Кстати, к селению можно подхватить с риторикой. Надо попробовать. Если что, перезагрузимся. А пока у нас задание... Все, можем, наконец-то, поговорить с Кларисой нашей.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Thank you. На этим мы и займемся, как настоящие полицейские. Нам нужно выбросить электрофильм. Заодно. Может быть, скорость реакцию. И может быть логика. Не драма. Она пиздеть будет. Она будет пиздеть, нам пизденькать. Нам в лицо. Нацменилась только на риторику и на эквилибристику. Погодите, мне уже подчеркивает недостатки, подчеркивает достоинства. Золотисто-коричневый летящий клеш. Обычно клеш постепенно расширяется к низу, чтобы их можно было натянуть на сапоги. Но это не тот случай, чьи-то пропитанные мочой спины, как выходные штаны, блядь. Да. К слову о том, что Гарри нужно к доктору. Вязаная шапочка с двумя гранатными дырками. Такой могу использовать в качестве маски во время вооруженного ограбления. И все. Эти темные очки с откидными линзами были популярны в старую эру, но их время ушло. Их тонкая проволочная оправа из золотого сплава сосредоточена сидящими на наркотиках продуманными художниками. Сейчас такие очки носят только бухгалтеры криминальных группировок, которые хотят видеть круто. Ну, или мы? Галстук с кричащей ярким рисунком, к сожалению, он с нами редко разговаривает, но вообще-то может. Он пугающе жизнерадостен. Почему-то у тебя ощущение, что снять его будет неправильно. Теперь это твой друг. Сменить его на какой-то другой способ отношения привязку — это предательство. Может быть, это ухли с чешуйчатой кожей потеряли часть своего великолепия, поэтому там лезут они идеально, сидят на ноге. Все потеряли. Гадки. Они внутри красные, боже, для того, чтобы всегда ходить по красной ковровой дорожке, Гарри. Ладно, почитайте. Сохраняйся.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Кстати, ванна могла быть и получше, или при таких обоях-то... Это вообще-то не Макдональдс. Знаете, на эту плитку, какая она ёбищная. И стены вообще просто типа бетон. Зачем? Мне кажется, это там плесень есть. А у нее ведь люкс, в отличие от меня. Я свою засрал специально, а это здесь вот какая есть.
It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout.
Ким профессионал.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Ну да, Гарри-то в этой хуйне специалист.
A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Нет, мы воздерживаемся.
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Давай электрохимия, мы как-то не будем об этом.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
Я подозреваю, что рецептурные спиды не бывает. От чего, блядь, их можно пить?
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Нет. Может быть, я ошибаюсь. Блять, иногда они просто не выходят по-человечески ниоткуда. Так, Амандю. Мадам, у нас к вам есть пару вопросов.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Охуенное время для того, чтобы закурить. Сохраняемся.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind, you catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell.
Maybe. Может, это вот
The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols produce a satisfying snap. Strange for such a low-caliber finger gun to sound so chunky. The flower in your other hand is impressed. So is Kim.
Да. Ради этого мы играем, в общем-то, ради таких моментов. Был дождь, теперь идет снег. Ёб вашу мать. Что вы тут... Не говори, что у вас весна. У Мартинези. Твою мать. Я тут впечатляю самого лучшего мужчину. Ой, простите, мадам, мы должны были вас запросить, но я засмотрелся на своего напарника, он слишком хорош.
That's not entirely true. The lieutenant is looking at the door to the east and mostly misses them.
Нахуй ты мне пиздишь, нахуй ты? Я обрадовался, а ты типа... Тварь. Просто тварь. Зачем ты расстраиваешь меня? Я думал, ты правда впечатлен. Хотя, да, действительно, что было впечатляться. Типа, камон. Его больше впечатлить, если я правильно сделаю свою работу. Постараемся.
Welcome to the roof.
Какая она, конечно... Боже.
Her hair is still slick from the shower.
Дорогая, ты простудишься. Менингит. Скорее всего, я не знаю, могут ли его лечить. Но мне кажется, это в любом случае неприятно.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
Кому не похуй зовешь?
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Так и есть.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
Понять слабостью.
I am Kim Kisuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Да, мы тут перекинулись парой слов.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Почему все так короткие? Уже так уже некуда мне держусь. А вы, я сколько может продержусь под давлением этих отношений.
Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Простите, я просто пытаюсь... Давай играть в хорошего копа и плохого копа. Я буду Славкой Вулкой, а ты таким, типа, словом и авторитетом.
Huh. I see.
Что ты с ним?
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Clasier Amondou. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later.
A bad memory, officer. Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. At night. At least it was for me.
Тут мы понимаем, что разговоры с ней будут до пизды долгими и очень малоинформативными. такая, типа, фemme фаталь, все такое, очень классический образ. И ты как бы одновременно очень любишь ее, но она очень бесит тебя. Вот так вот.
What's so bad about that?
Тебе нравится осень и ночь? Мы будем знать.
Nothing, if you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes. Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
Ну, она бзик, конечно, точнее иронизирует. А, кстати, ты не имеешь права потребовать документы, то есть Гарри в этом абсолютно уверен, но это не так. И поэтому откуда ж мне знать?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name. Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official.
Ну, давайте сколько всем посадок, а потом просто...
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Admires? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Well,
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
You may know.
Sure you do, you disco animal.
дисконировал. Ага. Да.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
Сочувствовать мне не будем. типа официальное заявление тоже как-то сурово требовать. Давайте... Опять же, мы договорились с Титом, что будем вести себя хорошо, что мы поговорим с жертвой, даже если она не считает себя жертвой. Так что, наверное, как-то так.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be as flippant if I had been?
Ну, знаешь, всякое бывает.
We partied. A lot of partying going on.
From Titus, about her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
Да.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
Я очень долго работал над этим.
What did you do when you partied?
Неловко тебе, Ким, между двумя нарколыгами.
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension?
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes. I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Rabachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling landline.
That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks. I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was... what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea. Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs.
Bullet? They shot him too? They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
Wait a moment. She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
Не, ну вы все обсудили, кем пошел-то. Как-то.
How about we, you know, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Наркота, точно.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Ravachol. I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
She looks at you and nods.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Very funky. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Yeah. All right.
Блять. Шансы невысокие. Мы в говне. Ну попробуем.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful.
Не, и сразу кто-то говорит попрекраснее.
I have bad news for you.
Ах,
You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you groveling sycophant. You too. Me? Get out of here. I'm solid. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it. There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume. All of the bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
я обожаю этот период, потому что у нас есть, типа, внутренние монологи между характеристиками, состояниями Гарри. Это... Ну, понимаешь, на самом деле это происходит гораздо чаще в его голове. И, в принципе, они не в порядке.
How it always does, through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do. No. It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? I think it's safe to assume, yes, Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like, she is a lady, most fair and just.
У нас очень низкая драма, поэтому мы нихуя не понимаем. А вот если бы у нас, кстати, была высокая драма, сила воли к ней бы обратилась именно за помощью, потому что драма позволяет врать тебе и понимать, что другие врут. Мне интересно, на самом деле, было бы попиздеть в классе, ну, типа, начать разговор с очень высокой драмой как-нибудь. Какой-нибудь, типа, на 8 или на 10. Это было бы пиздос. Мне кажется, мы бы ее разъебали просто.
In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does says, nothing? Someone else was supposed to chime in, weren't they? And then they didn't. Just me swooshing around in here now. Swoosh. Huh? No, Mr. Conclusion. You're always kind of limited in your analytical abilities. That's not her fault, but still. Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Я не знаю, типа, есть ли смысл говорить это вслух?
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
Вообще не пиздит.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
Зонтик возьми, дура, простудишься.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Разумеется. Ведь тебе похуй на нее.
So you said to her, what did you mean by it? She seems forthcoming to me. Unusually so. Being forthcoming with some things is a good way to obscure other things, but I wouldn't call myself compromised. I am not easily swayed by young women, but on the other hand, the best liars are candid, and she was candid.
Молоденьким девушкам так-то просто запутать в мозгу. Да, да. Интересно, что был здесь молоденький парень.
The lieutenant seems oddly sure he is not compromised. Not psychologically, at least. Is it hubris?
Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back soon enough.
Давайте посмотрим на дверь. Что у нас, кстати? Сохранилось.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
Я вам просто но не буду. Я даже не знаю.
I hate it when that happens.
Мы не будем бить дверь, иначе получим урон. А у нас очень мало физической силы. Мы сможем ее открыть иным способом. Мы попробуем сделать это очень скоро. Да, Анастасия. Он, как я сказал, он просто такой, типа, Харри. Типа, меня абсолютно не интересует то, что у нее там под этим серебряным комбинезоном. И скажи, Кима, тебя больше интересует то, что у меня под этой майкой, да? И под этими обоссанными штанами? А, надо как-то переодеть, нам больше не нужна эта химия, так что мы переоденемся. Рабочие штаны с крутой задницей. Вот так вот. Нам бы найти сапоги. Нам очень нужны сапоги, но они на том берегу. Hello, bro. Давайте скажем, что такое все пробовал.
Can I help you? What thing? Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frick warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
Давайте сдадим ее, то он пиздит. Может, он даже сдерет с нее деньги на починку.
Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my taste. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it.
Wow. She really isn't his taste. Her spell hasn't spread here.
Now, was there anything else? I have like... What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you...
Another thing. Great. Yes?
Этот мужик, он, наверное, связан с каким-то квестом. О! Мы не смотрим на прекрасную темную жидкость. Мы не смотрим на прекрасную темную жидкость и не облизываем столы в харчевне. По крайней мере, пока рядом Ким. So, boys.
It's you again. What is it?
Лизия. Поверишь? Это мы, по-моему, здесь все наговорили, так что...
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
Что ж тогда ты пиздел?
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
Aww.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Так он сказал обратное. Протокол твой нахуй идет, Заюш. Мы уже все записали.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
А ты, я смотрю, типа, нихуя в этом разбираешься?
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
Ну, типа, блядь, ты мутный, не говори мутной хуйни.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
Да я был, блядь, и я давил не больше, чем мягкая подушечка, блядь, из лучшего шелка. Ты как-то это... Я же хлеб.
His hands become fists.
Мужик, ты как-то это...
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Расслабься.
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy!
Спасибо, Лиза.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
Я обожаю, когда характеристики спорят между собой.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
Ну что ты ему сделаешь, на самом деле, если... Вот если он местная полиция, что ты ему сделаешь? У вас нет местной не полиции. Вы проведете самосуд? С кем? С остальными парнями Харди? Просто... Блять.
The room is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The rest of the cafeteria has gone quiet, too. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape.
Интересно, кстати, что у него на фоне немножко стертая вот эта вот рабочая хуйня.
Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Что мне до вашей записи вы мне наврали, что на этой пленке, откуда запись? Куда?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Angus, ну это солнышко.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Тит, ты молодец. Я так люблю, как Тит заботится об Ангусе. Это настолько... Оу.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Ну даже не знаю, как вы мне пиздите, какие вы мне улики можете дать, если вы мне пиздите в лицо.
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
Да, Заюш, именно этим я занимаюсь.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Сейчас тебе что-нибудь в жопу запихаю, Заюш.
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Спасибо за поддержку, мое солнышко.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Ну, ёптянуть.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Разумеется, возьму.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
И мы еще сейчас попробуем кое-что сделать, как сохранимся. Раз. Два.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh?
And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
Блядь, завали ебало, мне нужен ключ.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Спасибо-то.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Ну, как голос приятный.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
И теперь мы шлем расследование нахуй, чтобы пойти открывать двери. Блять, мне же нужно бабло, чтобы купить. Может мы найдем бабло, кстати.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent... The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. The darkness before you smells like engine grease and cut wood.
О, я обожаю эту локацию. Обожаю. Это, короче, здесь нас ждет. Это кажется куском говна, но тут нас ждет много дебывалых открытий. В частности, именно про КИМА. Но нам нужно пизда как постараться и потратить время на хуйню, которая никому, блядь, не нужна. Оу, по-царски, ой, по-братски, наши деньги прекрасно. Что ты нам записываешь? Это что происходит? Так. Мы сохранились, теперь мы...
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little. Ah, great.
У нас не хватает эмпатии, чтобы считать его a little как пиздец как много.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, finger boy. Those flippers are ready.
Видимо, сначала нам нужно все на координацию глянуть. Она у нас высокая, нужно глянуть, что мы еще можем. Это такое внушение, это полицейская война, это логика. Нет, скорость реакции. Нам нужна техника. Техника побольше. Остановление соль.
Over there, in the corner, not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle.
The pinball machine. Gordy. Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy, get the game on, finger boy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a moustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Windy. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the gods. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids, other people's kids too, sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death. How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy.
Мы перезагружаемся, что я хочу победить. Нам нужна реакция Кима. Нам очень нужна реакция Кима на то, что мы классные. Мы хотим его впечатлить, и это все, что нужно нам в нашей жизни. Кстати, мы ведь можем... Вот почему. Ну, давайте выберем скорость реакции. Еще у нас, кстати, по...
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius...
Ah, great.
Cornelius, get the game on, finger boy. Those flippers are ready. It takes a... Go.
I feel sorry for the goat. The kind of an avid huntsman too. He also... But you seem to be having...
Your game, sudden, maneuvering a goat tiny hat. The words... This can be... You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
How, if you can't... The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing.
Мы потратим на это время. У нас хорошие шансы. Давай.
Over there, not just any pinball machine.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy, get the game on, finger boy. Those flippers are ready. It takes a while to get into... Go.
I feel sorry. The kind of a guy, an avid huntsman too. He also, but you seem to be.
Your guess. The word.
Congrat.
This, you're down.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too.
With automation-like precision, you keep the final goat ball in play, reacting to the tiniest stimuli, floating in the flow state. The fog is clearing, and suddenly, the old speaker crackles. Gaudy ball is lit.
Huh?
A panel opens up at the top of the playfield, and a new ball charges downhill. It's larger than the goats and matte black. Cornelius spell the white letters running across the equator. So violent is its descent, it immediately knocks the last goat into the abyss. Then proceeds to bounce all across the board as if carried by some demonic otherworldly inertia. High score, announce the speakers, and the whole machine lights up. Then the flippers retract, leaving a perfect opening for the gaudy ball to join the goats backstage. Cornelius vanishes, and the machine powers off.
That's amazing.
Вот так вот.
You didn't just win. No one I know has ever beaten Gordy's goats. That is a monumental achievement, Detective. Congratulations, Your Highness. That was really impressive. The machine needs a good service before anyone else can even attempt it again. Yes, good times.
Once again, the machine becomes one with the dust and the darkness.
Мы сохраняемся, и кажется, нам после этого нужно что-то... Нам нужна была какая-то другая характеристика.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Почему я могу закурить, блядь? Это красная проверка.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on. No.
It's strange that he doesn't like pinball. Kim here is a Seolite. His people are incredibly dexterous, and they all love pinball. Matter of fact.
Вот что происходит, когда у тебя очень низкая энциклопедия.
Us?
Stop.
Okay.
Super. Tip top. This went pretty well.
Еще раз. Нам нужна новая шляпа. Нам нужно сменить шляпу, потому что она дает бонус к энциклопедии.
The machine is dead.
Снова сохраняемся.
All these mesmer feels like it might jump.
Some kind of...
The lieutenant grimacing.
You can't...
What a dumb name.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? No.
Ким КАЦУРАГИ, думайте.
Kim, pinball, КАЦУРАГИ.
Гарри помнит его. Гарри знал Кима. Когда-то, он лично его знал, но он слышал это имя.
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers.
Да. Очень избирательная память.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
Но не похоже, что...
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Понимаете, если ты 15 лет работаешь с трудными подростками, то Гарри для тебя это такая, типа, ну ладно, не проблема. Это отстойный чувак, но мы скажем хорошо, что его поддержать.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
То есть он лейтенант всего 5 лет? Ага.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Вот эти варианты ему, разумеется, очень не понравятся, и он нас нахуй пошлет за это.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the world.
Такие дела. Всё. Эй, привет, ХД. Да. И это, мне кажется, самая клевая локация. Я все еще думаю нарисовать огромное количество порно-артов в этом лифте. Потому что он такой уютный, он такой отдельный.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descendre, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long, long time ago.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century, look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
Мне сживает как на собаке.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
Баблишка. Плащ. Посмотрите, мы просто инспектор гаджет в этом. Блин, у Гарри такая спина красивая в нем. Посмотрите. Нам так идет пиздец. Боже. Ким, тебе нравится? Я его заработал. Я молодец. Это мастерская, все еще рабочая мастерская. Какая-то швабра. Тут особо ничего нету. Но есть очень важное хуепутово. Окей.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. It means someone snuck through what seemed like a secret route, behind Classius' room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than that. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
Телега будет тебе пока. Ну, на самом деле, по идее, захват окна должен быть на... типа только на игру. Но может появиться тележное сообщение. Подошва с рисунками, длинные горизонтальные полосы.
No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
На самом деле, меня прям гложет мысль, что, короче, если бы во время расследования нашего мы немножко по-другому поговорили с расистом, с дальнобойщиком, мы бы узнали, что у него тоже обувь сделана на заказ. У меня, возможно, ложно, есть ощущение, что через него, через какие-то характеристики, через какой-то можно выйти на какой-то альтернативный след. Но, возможно, у меня белый.
The size looks about the same, actually. They are not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Какие мы молодцы.
This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded end dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Class about this route. See how she reacts.
Опять ты под дождем, без зонта и даже без шапки. Ну ёб твою мать.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Она никак не реагирует на то, что мы выходим. Но мы пока не слушали запись, поэтому не можем к ней подойти. Так что ты бы хоть удивилась, ну хоть как-то это. Ну ладно, ну пожалуйста. Вообще-то это была очень крутая работа. Крутая детективная работа. Вот. Что?
Master investigator. You just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
Of course.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Бэби. А у нас нет дополнительной мысли? Блять, нам еще. Нам нужно какой-то... Нам нужно пособирать опыт, открыть мысли и, короче, почему-то. Сколько сейчас? Блять, до нашего гомосексуального подхода еще пить и пить. Ну это только второй день. Мы на самом деле до хера сделали всего. Ну, то есть, чтобы вы понимали, игра предполагает, мы ее напомнили, что мы бы еще, не знаю, вот весь этот объем еще бы пару дней, типа, бы договорились. Ну, типа, первый раз играла, так и было. Это сейчас мы как-то по фасту проходим, не знаю, куда идти и все такое. О, дед, кстати, давайте заедаем поговорим. Мы должны были прописать. Нет, нам нужно другое место. Нам нужно заработать бабла. Что-то продать. Плазанс. We need to talk with Plazans. Mom?
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Я пообщался с сущностью, о которой вы говорили. Ее зовут Мия, и она занимается изготовлением игральных костей.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
Мы можем поиграть, можем как-то пойти в эту сторону. В любом случае, она, короче, очень экзорцистка настроена верующая дама. Ей вот эти вот, объективные объяснения ничего не дадут. Ты только разрушишь ее психику, которая и так в очень нестабильном состоянии. Ну, попробуем, потому что Ким не любит, когда мы говорим о всякой мистике. Игромеханически это не влияет, но мы же отыгрываем.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind of talk is that? I am not doing as well as it looks like I am. I only have my Simone's wards to thank for the protection they provide. Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse. I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Okay, but please, only a few questions. Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simone's mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales. 15%!
В общем, это вот такая барыня.
Yes, the Simone's are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards. Yes, the Simone's are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism. It's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
The woman looks aloof.
Мы хотели открыть себе мысль с журомской охотой. Отлично. Где ты? Где ты? А, мой хороший. Всего на 1 час. Нам нужно как-то здесь ждать по поводу реальности. Просто чтобы потянуть время.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
It remains a mystery what she'd mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality. What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it, in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. ELYSIUM. It does. There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists. Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revolutionsgrad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
Мы в расколотом мире.
A cold fear seeps into you.
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
His voice is low, but firm. All she can say is,
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
Ким, мне кажется, в данном случае я немножечко...
Ma'am, remember you are dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical episode.
Это способ не дать нам узнать, что такое серость.
The Lieutenant's right. Let's change topics. What do you want to know? Anything.
but she wants to tell you.
Я вас понял, мадам. Я вас понял.
You could sneak back later, when he's not around, unless you can convince him to step aside.
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Why, of course. We're talking Duke out Central. Full swing intra-species warfare. No, I would say the apes were neutral. On the other hand, maybe you're right. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
A devout man of the center. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to head shooting. In your line of... Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes, the Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. About head shooting? The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government. It made people overthrow their governments. Indeed, Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark. From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the coalition of nations, and you, of course, the citizens' militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-estuary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade. 43 years. Hard to fathom, I know. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere. No, it was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality, baby. They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that.
В общем, как вы понимаете, первые 20 лет жизни Кима и Гарри это... В общем, нам очень повезло, что мы видим этих двоих. То есть даже потому, что мы видели типа вот после эволюции, после войны, типа, это не означало, что они росли в безопасном месте. И, блядь, может быть, это... Я не знаю, как поговорить с Джойс. Я не помню, как ты когда-то вышел на такую форму диалога. Ну, в общем, там есть какой-то вариант, как здесь с ней, когда ты что-то выбираешь, Ким на нее отражается. И, в общем... В общем, там есть диалог о том, что родители Кима разорвало на части или что-то в таком роде. И он выжил, потому что ему было типа 2 года. И ты такой... В общем... У Гарри хотя бы была мама. Поэтому на самом деле их отканонил, что Кима воспитывала мафию. Как он дошел до полиции, мы не знаем. Но в любом случае... Очень тяжелый разговор. Так, и нам нужно... Что нам нужно сделать? Почему ты меня поддерживаешь? Откуда мне вообще сейчас верит? Что это? Мы все еще не довольны живым скороход. Блять. А мы не сможем прислушать. Мы с ним побла, чтобы прислушать. Мы попробуем. У нас очень низкая риторика, у нас средний слот. Что мы можем сказать насчет риторики? Это концептуализация, это мишень, это логика. У нас нет рубашки на риторику. Что ж, обидно, досадно, конкретно.
Good day to you, officers.
Тебе не хворать.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hjelmdal burning. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar.
It's the man from Hjelmdal.
Walking away from his burning village. Yes.
Their matter-of-fact tone belies their surprise at the fact that you didn't recognize the figure in the print.
Huh? Oh, I see. That's tough, man. I feel the same way sometimes. The man from Hjelmdal is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla. In fact, most people don't think that man from Hjelmdal ever really existed, but they are wrong.
Hjelmdal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course, but both the man and Hjelmdal are an ontological necessity. But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about. I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjelmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there.
На самом деле Рой очень прав, и это на самом деле довольно обычное явление, когда субъективные вещи влияют на объективную реальность. То есть мы можем считать, что там фей не существует, можем там подвергать сомнению религии, еще что-то. И любые концепции, которые не являются научными, могут быть доказаны, и книги, и все такое. Тем не менее, люди все это воспринимают, люди все это читают, люди много это верят, и, исходя из того, что они это воспринимают, они совершают какие-то поступки, они строят свой моральный компас, они делают выбор, что купить. Вот это, собственно, и есть влияние субъективности на объективную реальность. Оно кажется мелким, но из этих мелочей собирается ебаный кусок. Я хотел тебе... можно вообще что-то тебе продать?
Hello again. How can I help you? At Ave, we have boom boxes for sale that will play it. Check the shelves.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved, and one especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel format, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music. Sorry, man, I can't be giving out freebies. Never have, won't now. At discount, I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
A man like that in a neighborhood like this, in a rickety house falling into the sea, there's fear in him. Use it to your advantage.
Не хочу пугать Роя.
Careful. You can only do this once.
Actually, yes. Let's. 8 is an even better number than 12. Even more internal balance. Better integrity too. And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Ну, всяко лучше. Спасибо, Рой. Я знал, что она его может. Давайте посмотрим на сложность риторики исцеления. Просто. Отдыхаешь?
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Можно, конечно, перезагружаться 20 раз. Но вообще-то он нам даст, по-моему, 10. Или около того. Или можно пособирать бутылки. Еще можем бегать с микрофоном. Тогда будет просто жесткая музыка играть. Или не будет. Должна играть. Давай. Могу какой-то любого трека. Давайте послушаем, собственно говоря, кстати. Мы купили этот магнитофон, потому что без него не послушаем ёбаную катушку от нашего убитого точнее. Но сейчас не время. И жаль, что сейчас не время идти. Что не нужно? Кстати. Нам нужно собрать бабла, чтобы мы сегодня спали в домике. Поэтому еще один выпуск.
You hear someone walking around inside. A poor community.
Do I have to? Did you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have...
У нас есть причины.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. A symbol of what now?
Ты жила под камнем?
Ah, all I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good. No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again, breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief. You hear someone walking around inside.
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
Oh, come on.
That was smart.
Hello. На самом деле ты мне не нужна, я просто ищу штуки. Слышно внутри покушаться насекомые.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20 at least. Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Мы нашли туфли. Hello.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet? Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power, crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal, ultra liberal.
Хоть и не знаю, какое чувство не должно быть, но вообще мне как-то какая-то из моих навыков мне как-то подсказала ситуацию, как Дора стояла с архитектурным планом и предполагала снести стену. И вместо место расстановки мебели. И мы нашли здесь джинсы под очень пиздатую жопу, в кармане которых была жвачка с ее запахом. И есть ощущение, что либо это очень похоже на место, в котором они любят, либо тот сбежавший чувак — это и есть Гарри. Ну типа на самом деле очень странно, что тогда местные его не знают. Короче, такое. Нам нужно... мы не сказали люди. Бежали и ничего не сказали. Получили неприлично дорогие туфли и все. Видите, как он бегает, да? Бабуль, прости, забыл.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope... Oh, I do like wizards. And people like that in general. They have a lot to tell us about our fates.
She means clairvoyance.
Знаете, в обратной стороне того, что мы позволили КИМу не подавать его колпаки. Потому что сейчас у нас нет денег на то, чтобы жить. А мы еще и взятки не берем, не ладно, блядь. Просто.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Silence. No one answers your call. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. The porter reel is just what you push, command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Valsund crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
Corti could be short for Cortona, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. It sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Indeed, but
there's more going on here than we know.
End of recording. I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Вот на это мы потратили 8 лет реала.
The Jamrock Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called ELYSIUM, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
Жаль, что мы открыли уже все записи как контейнеры здесь.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may I... Just a second. Sylvie Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody. And so does your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore. Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Yes, you absolutely should. It's awful that it feels like you haven't worn yours in a long, long time.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Это были не шутки, Зай.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after. People tried to back away from you or even slip out of the door, but you screamed. I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation.
Первое нет, мы не думаем о самоубийстве, мы пытаемся этого не делать.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57, over and...
In the cabin, you see a...
Ну, все понапрещик предполагает, что нам нужно досидеть, короче. Нам нужно, чтобы было решить. Сначала можем попиздеть об Куртиге. Но после того, как мы попиздим с Катей. Что, сучка, не ожидала, что мы так скоро? Опять ты без шапки, твою ж.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me. Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like he didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezu all rolled into one person, then cast in Norani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoi in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things in Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Такой свет красивый, но вот этом пятачке у них вообще пиздец.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but It was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink.
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
Quite a lot, yes. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps? Yes. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite...
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Oh, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
There is no challenge without competition. There must be an opponent.
Грубая сила пиздит.
This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts.
Я вот не знаю, на самом деле не выходил на эту тему. Если разгонять это, он обидится или не обидится, но давайте спросим.
That's too pinball for me. I just like to get autopsies right on the first try. Where were we?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gotvold. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex. Alcohol.
It very well could be, yes. What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean? That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up. There, she momentarily lost control over straight back guy. It appears that she feels guilty.
Of course I do. I'm hungover. I feel guilty about everything.
Do you feel guilty about what happened to him?
Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something he can do, right? Ask me something else.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh? How old? 58.
Фига ты.
You asked. He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
Я помордлагаюсь, куда дальше.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
Мы не будем употреблять слово «альгур». Ну какое-то такое.
I didn't say 62, I said 58.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium.
Я не помню, что дает эта мысль, но давайте узнаем. Мира тогда рождения. 7 часов, ёпта. Допустим. И на самом деле, ну, бедно на сегодня мы на этом закончим. На этой крыше и на генераторе даты рождения. Я надеюсь, завтра получится снова поиграть. И мы продолжим. Ким, он ушел под козырек. Правильно, Ким. Нечего тут. Ты вот без шапки ходишь, это ж неудобно, поэтому под козырьками надо стоять. Она вон, я говорю, она простудится и умрет. Она глупенькая. Опилась всякой хуйни. Больше мне этого не хочет. Вот. Мы очень хорошим нашим соприкосновением мы сегодня закончим. Всем спасибо за присутствие. И я завершаю стрим.